recording is started, by the way, soon. You're good whenever.
Oh,
See,
really?
see,
Yeah.
see, it's graphic imagery. You need to get it off my screen.
Toes! Ah!
Uh-oh. Got a blast. It's just Sombra being an edgelord.
Sombra wears like socks with toes in them. It's so weird.
Like, yeah, toe open socks. It's whack. I guess it's sounding like leggings, because they're like one piece. It's just leggings.
Yeah, she doesn't have shoes.
That's, I can't post this to YouTube. It's gonna get taken down.
What is this?
What's this?
Hello.
Toes. Oh, hello,
You're really
Energy.
quiet.
Why? Why is this what we're looking at?
Because we were just looking at Sombra's toes. You missed it.
I didn't want to.
No.
Okay, that's just a clotted. Lucia with the blade. Oh my! Why are her feet so long? She
Laura
is.
has fucking knives. She actually has needles on the top of her ankle. Why?
Yeah, so she can kick people.
True. Also, okay, that's just weird. Reaper, he's hovering. Reaper's hovering. Pog.
Oh
Look at
wait,
those
go into the
cheap
other foot.
ass
Look
shoes.
look at the other foot. No, look at Tracer's other foot scene.
What the fuck?
Oof.
Nah.
How- We're waiting for people, so we're looking at feet.
You guys are.
Yo, Zen has the most style for shoes.
I feel like
What do you
Q
mean?
wouldn't have let this pass. I just realized he wasn't here.
Nah, has no say.
Everyone really has pointy shoes, huh?
Wait, what about? I mean, yeah, everyone's feet are like really narrow. Like, what the fuck?
I just go stupid.
Fair
Okay.
enough. Miss
Are we starting now?
Sure. Enough.
Color just left.
Well,
Whatever. Fuck 'em.
Are you recording?
It's just going over positioning.
yeah,
like,
I got record.
individual positioning. So NRT, where do you think you're supposed to be playing on this map? And where do you
I am,
rotate to
because
if you
where
get
you-
pushed?
Where I am, because this is where you told me to go, and I rotate to the core.
Where, like, okay. This area is good for you as Sigma. You can rotate here if it is safe and they aren't playing 6-man or brawl. It is a safe
Uh-oh.
rotation there.
Yep.
And, okay, which way do you rotate? This way or this way?
I rotate. Well, it depends where I'm playing. If I'm playing where I am right now, I would want to kite up through the staircase to the supports. But if I'm playing back on the forklift, I would probably want to kite back into main or mega, not main. I want to kite forward always.
Never pretty much go that way.
Okay.
If you're playing in either of these zones, this is your getaway.
Okay.
Because when you're positioning here, it is safe for this guy to be peeking. Because usually you'll have like a shield where you're peeking, you know?
Mhm.
So commercial can free peek pretty much. Otherwise, commercial will have to like play play back. Because this gal over here, Cucumber, Brigitte, has to be playing here. So you have closer peel, and you can kite back to here easier from here, you know?
Mhm.
It's safer. And it promotes our Brig to brawl more. And we're not going to let a flanker get to our Zen anyway, because we have commercial here, you here, Q there. So it's a pretty sound setup.
Mhm.
And then, like, worst case scenario, our Tracer has to go peel for our Zen. And then Zen would have to, like, go here or something. But yeah,
Okay.
that's, like, how it's designed to be done. And, like, Ash can, like, rotate back here if they're, like, looking to, like, dive Ash main after, like, scouting, you know? So if they have, like, a bunch of alts, well, actually, if they have EMP, we, like, naturally counter EMP by being so spread out, you know? Like, the only real people who are together a lot of the time are these three, and Zen's usually a bit split. That's how you kind of want to play it here.
Mhm.
So then Sombra EMP isn't that much of an issue. You're only really worried about getting run over by the 6-man. And so if the ball is like engaging, well, since you have Q here now, it'll be even better because now like when you're getting dived, you're getting healed, you know?
Yeah.
Because
We
Q
should be
swings.
we should be looking to brawl a lot more, right? That's what Fire was telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, utilizing Briggs brawl
Hello.
potential more.
We can hear you now, Line.
Oh, okay. Finally.
But yeah. Does anyone else have any questions of where they should be positioning? Or like what rotations they should be making in a certain situation? Or any like possible plans that you think could ruin this format?
What
Hello.
if they
Hello. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
what if let's say I'm holding forklift and they decide to
Sure.
rush left. Do I still kite forward
So
there?
you are playing here, and where are they going?
They go straight through the doorway I'm in right now.
So to here.
Do I still kite through that room?
Um, that's a good question. Okay, so basically, uh, we want to like stop their momentum in that situation. Whether that's like interrupting it with like us like collapsing on them from like here and then you from like here, you know? And then Ash can like pepper because their supports can be playing where they're still playing and you can like be spamming from that angle. And our supports can drop down if necessary while Ash has like free sightline and Ball Tracer are getting like ready to like go in on whatever, you know? As long as our supports don't get immediately fucked, whether so like they're getting ready to like back out. Because if the enemy gets like there, like in that room, like we have to be playing like uh here as supports. No like elsewhere. Because if we don't play there, we won't have enough time to drop out. Because they're using speed to get here. Speed like as last is it 3 seconds?
I think so.
It's something like that. It doesn't last a very long time. It might be 2.5 seconds. But that's not enough time for them to go from like here. Like, because if our Sigma is like playing frontal, like this corner, and like our Ash has the sightline, they're not gonna like speed from here, you know? They're gonna speed from like here. So that's why we're able to have this kind of a setup, you know? Any other concerns?
What if they play DB?
Okay, so like monkeys are with like Brig Ana, yeah.
So if we scout early that they're playing DB, should
Mm-hmm.
Ash still be there?
Should Ash still be there? Good question. So basically, Ash being there is like a really good thing because that makes the monkey want to jump here because that's like what we did back when we played DB, remember? If like we ever said someone was here, we'd send our monkey to jump up while supports rotate, right? Thing is, supports can't rotate because we have a Sig and Brig here. Sig, Brig. Cool. So they're here, chilling like a villain. And the core, I'll say is C. Monkey goes in. I'll use black for the there. Monkey goes in on our Ash. Okay. Since it's just a monkey, and we probably have our tracer. This is like tracer's job when we scout DB. Usually most other DB teams have a tracer because it's just commonplace. So we need our tracer to be matching their tracer. So like the enemy tracer might be playing here and our tracer is like matching them over here, preventing the tracer to follow up on our Ash, you know? And that's a really important thing. Because if there isn't a tracer to follow up on our Ash, our Ash can get away from the monkey for free. And since the monkey is out of the fight, they're pretty diveable now. Like their team. Since like they don't have a monkey with them, they don't have a tracer with them. We have a Sigma Brig, and then Zen could like get cheeky, you know? And we also have like a monkey that we could hard focus too.
I
And the
was
Sig Shield can block on a heals as well. So the monkey isn't getting enough follow-up. So he'll probably die.
since I talked to you earlier about this map.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, their core is a lot more robust though. They have Zarya
Kind of, yeah.
and Ashe or Kree or Hanzo or Echo or something like that. They have a DPS with them in their core, and they have a Brig and Ana.
Yeah,
I
there's a chance that they
just
have a
thought
DPS
that
in their core.
it's really hard to dive that thing compared to any other types of
Yeah.
dive.
So that's why I said we can choose to melt the monkey instead. And as long as like we survive the initial dive, monkey doesn't want to stay here because there's a Zen there, and now the Ash is just now on point, and the monkey doesn't want to go deeper because now like the Brig can come back and peel, and when Tracer's done with her duel, hopefully we didn't lose because Brig packs meet that range. I'm pretty sure. So
In that case, should the ball be helping Ash to kill monkey?
I think Ball gets a lot of value from disrupting the core
Line, right?
and living through that. If there isn't a Kree and only a Brig, that's pretty easily done, you know?
Okay.
And then like Sigma can help with that too, with like Peel and like blocking on a heals. Because the main goal is to survive and absorb.
So then, who's really helping Ash then? Is it just the Brig
Ash is
that's
helping
packing
herself with
Ash?
Coach Gun, and then Brig is helping Ash. And then Tracer, Brig, and herself are helping her.
Okay.
So the Coach Gun to get away from the engager, Brig for healing slash a bit of peel, and then Tracer to stop flankers from following up on her. Because this entire area, like this big ass side, like entirety of right side is Tracer's area. Tracer can control all of that. Like it's pretty
Well,
insane
let
what
me
Tracer can do.
play some devil's advocate because I've been thinking about this for hours now. Our tracer is pretty busy because they have a tracer too, and we can't
Sure,
like
yeah.
in macro assume that our tracer is just better.
No, but the
There's a
thing
chance
is
that
we have
their
a Brig
tracer
healing
can
our Tracer.
right, but
Their
their
Brig
tracer
does not
also
have
has a
LOS.
chance to like help killing the Ash too.
Well,
Um,
if our Tracer is ignoring their Tracer, then yeah.
the monkey jumps with a Zarya bubble, so the monkey's not gonna move anywhere. He's gonna land.
True, our
Right?
Ash is gonna move
The
somewhere.
the coach gun is moving Ash to somewhere. I'm thinking the best place is the bottom right from your view, that high ground. But then it's pretty hard to get heals. I don't know if it's within healing distance, and also
You know,
even
I
if it
disagree
is,
that that's the best place to put Ash if our Tracer is ignoring their Tracer, which is never supposed to happen.
no, I mean I think the tracer
here
is fighting the
bad.
tracer.
Yeah, okay, so if the Tracer's
So-
fighting the Tracer, then like going
Right.
there is a good idea. Because then Brig can just come back to here and then heal.
Okay.
Because Brig is playing here.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes
that's fine.
sense.
I've just been going over first point with the stuff that we talked about yesterday.
Okay, cool.
So when we find the TB, Brig is just coming down right away, right? There's no reason for Brig to be there.
No, Brig still needs to be there to help Sig prevent the rotation of supports going in there. Brig only goes back if Ash needs peel. Like, if Ash rotated back here and needs peel.
Scene, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
For scouting wise, which a line I kind of touched on with the scouting and positioning. Who do you want scouting? Do you want me up there on like the statue where I am right now, or do you want like Tracer up there looking? Does it matter which one is up there, or do you have preference?
Okay, so in Trank, a lot of teams like to like send a Sombra to scout on this map and then switch. So in that sense, the long-term scouting with the ball is better than the Tracer, because Tracer's there is only to get the initial scout. So in that sense, I'd like you scouting more. And then if our tracer started by playing here, you have a lane to go in. You have everywhere to go in, which is safe, you know?
Okay, yeah, because that's what the one thing when I was watching the Shanghai game or the Shanghai match before scrim, I did notice that they did put the ball up there instead of Tracer up there. So I was trying to mimic that.
It's good when you know that like the enemy team that you're playing against likes to adapt against like certain strategies, because then you can like see them adapting, you know?
Okay, yeah, I feel.
You just have to make sure that you're getting out after they've swapped, you know? Because you don't want to stay there, really, in my opinion. You just want to get back to here.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. If we lose this initial like hold and like we had to send our Sigma back to this high ground, like with supports and our Brig, when they have to go back here, because like this lane has been overwhelmed, that changes things for our Ashe, our Tracer, and our Ball. That means like we can't really control any of this space if like our Sigma and like Zen and stuff are on the back foot, because this is just going to be an inevitable push, you know? So our Ashe is going to have to play a bit more reserved back here, even though like that, well, actually,
Shouldn't Ash try and rotate 2 core? Or no?
no, because like it's just a worse position, because then we're just putting too many like eggs in our basket on one side. I think the better play is our Ashe to play more reserved if we know that like they're pushing our Sigma, and then like that's a cue for like our Ball Tracer to be going in when like our Sigma is on the back foot. Because like the bounce back that our supports can give to our Sigma when he's on the back foot is really good.
Okay.
Obviously, like not on a support, but like with damage, kind of.
Zen Prick does do a lot of damage. Very true.
But yeah, that's kind of like the situation if our Sig has to go in the back. But if our ball dies and we don't have an engager, we just have to be. It's rough because we can't like interrupt really any dives, so that's tragic. But we really just need to like be like it doesn't change much besides like that we can't like look for dives. So in that sense, Tracer's like looking to contest their flankers a lot heavier because like she doesn't really have another job now, you know? So it's really bad if our ball dies, but like not the end of the world. It's the end of the world if our Sigma or our like Brig dies. I think that's pretty tragic if one of those two dies. More so our Sigma. But yeah. As long as like the 2 anchors, which is like here, Zen and Sig, are like in their like Triforce kind of thing, we'll be usually in a good spot. Just because all the pressure that each one gives. So, that's pretty covered for first point. We'll go to second point defense. We'll just like watch us lose in 2x. Our Sigma gets rushed. We kind of do what I said, but our ball wasn't ready for like a hard rush. And then like our supports didn't go back to like hammer against them more. Yeah, that was really quick offense from them. That's tragic.
Well, can I show you something funny? I'm sorry. I was just looking through Korean contenders real quick to actually to like look at the strategy again because I was curious at a different match how they play it the same way, and I found that the Ashe actually plays with the Ball Tracer, which seems extremely weird. And
Oh, hold on. I'm still looking at scenes thing.
yeah, one second.
Yeah, well,
I think it's just weird how it happens. I think she just drops the low ground when she gets pressured, So you can actually see it from her perspective here, and I'll put it back here because okay, so she's playing high ground, right? She's poking. She gets a headshot off on Papa Dog. I don't know why you have a contender named that. Then she drops. She gets pressured, right? Then she drops, goes bottom right. And at this point, they probably don't know where she is because they thought she would be on the high ground, right? But now she's not, right?
For some
And
reason,
then
that like seems like she was helping deny that angle
yeah,
push
it
from
looks
like
like
the diva.
yeah, and she pushes the diva and kill like
Yeah,
D-Max the diva. Like what?
yeah. I think that was the goal to help the balls and like counter like that kind of a
But
rotation
that's
from the
really
diva.
interesting to see that they're actually supplementing their Ash. They're even giving orb to their Ash.
Well, yeah, you kind of have to.
Well, yeah, you have to, but then they're giving it orb to her as like a second priority after Tracer in that sense. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, like just because she's that far forward, and I'm curious where she plays here again.
So
Yeah, she's
high
gonna
ground.
play high ground, but I swear she's gonna drop to that low ground and she's gonna take the angle,
Or
and then the Tracer's just gonna match Tracer with her. Yeah, and here's the entire core staying high ground. This is where we should have been earlier. Yeah.
just completely denying that space.
Oh yeah,
Really
that
cool.
they're just what's up?
No, that's really cool. I said because there is also a mini if Ash really has to.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
And-
cover in that room, but yeah, she was mostly just playing corner.
Yeah, but it's interesting that she pushes up like that, and also you can see that sort of thing we were talking about, or at least I hope Scene talked about with making sure that you talked about it, right? Like just the denying left side and like engaging at that area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind
Okay.
of.
Cool. Sort of. Yeah. I trust.
I was
But
mostly
yeah.
just going over positionings and then why, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're kind of denying that left lane, right? Like you have your entire core there, then you're poking people out. You have Tracer on right, and then Ball on right, and then they can engage left if they want to, right? It's really cool. And you can see Slam engage, yeah, and then the Ashes backs out, and then Ball gets contested, and he has to cycle now, and then he can't engage anywhere else. Huh. And then Ash plays with inside her core there. So if Ash does get pressured, she does seem to walk back to her core a lot, just in general. It's either walk towards her ball tracer or walk towards her core.
I think it's when they're trying to, when they need help denying right side, the Ash like goes to the ball, or like when like the
Yeah.
ball tracer needs help, the Ash goes. When the Ash needs help, she goes to core. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, it's really interesting to watch. But yeah, she's in a position where she can rotate left and right pretty easily. And with Bob here, I think she's probably,
Aggressive with
oh
it.
wow.
That's rotation.
Yeah, she's bobbing rotation to deny them from being able to go through there.
Mm.
Mm, I think they wanted to actually get a pick out of that. I highly disagree with the caption
Yeah.
right now that it was a slowdown. I think it
Yeah,
was too
looking at
early.
their alts too, they kind of like needed that to get more value.
Yeah, and didn't get the value. They played ebb and flow really well on the side of BM Hawk.
BM Hawk, yeah.
That
Yeah,
pulse
no,
bomb
they're
E.
getting,
Oh my.
yeah, they're getting shut down. But see where we're taking the fight? Is this like really weird, right? Because they're just taking the entire fight at choke.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is not what I would think to play. Like where to play at least, but
Well, but you can also see what it looks like the Sigma, Zen, Brig, and Tracer are all engaging on their backline. See where their backline is?
oh yeah.
Zen
I thought
on the
yeah
right
no I
side?
did not see that. I thought they were way more out. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, so they're rotating around and they're forcing rotation from the enemy team because the enemy team is scared that they're going to go on their backline, and I think they're about to force Transcendence.
They do. That is correct. I did see the trades.
Yeah, and then yep,
Ah,
and
what
then
an
they force
E.
Trance. Then they counter Trance. They may actually win this because they have Rally and Trance up on the side of Talon.
Yeah, but now they're counter rallying.
Oh yeah, they are counter rallying, but okay, yeah. Then they lose Zen. Yeah, they're not winning this.
Ooh, yeah, dang. Papa Dog. That is not that's not an OWL name. I'm sorry, Papa Dog, not an OWL name.
Papa Dog did.
Last part was what not to do.
True. I mean, do we think their core should have pushed out that far though, or should they kite it back to like the top left high ground if you look on?
I think they should cut it back. I think they misinterpreted what ults BM Hawk had
Okay.
because they went. Actually, no. Actually, I actually liked it. because then they trade ultimates, and now they're about even for second point.
True, they have a flux without any counter ults to it.
Uh,
That's also a
And they do have a decent counterplay to Devo with just Kite and Sig Shield. Okay, yeah, I see.
yeah, and they used all these ultimates, and they got out a ton of them. So for second, they're not going to be steamrolled, and they know that now.
Okay.
Whereas if they would have recontested, the offense gets to be able to set up, and maybe they don't use rally and they don't use trance. But in this situation where you force the backline to use rally and trance because you're going on them, right, and you don't want to have the fight reversed, then in that case you have to use those ultimates. But on a recontest, it's different, which is interesting. So I don't know, just something worth watching. But yeah, you can continue on.
Okay.
Okay. I was just going over first point. Now we'll move to second point. Since I might have to go back a bit. Or they have arrived.
They get there pretty quick too.
So we died. We actually have the Sig in the position that like me and Spock were talking about wanting to have the Sig in, which is that high ground. Just to start and then like rotating back. It's just to deny this initially and enforcing them to need to take it, you know?
Where do I go from there though? Because when I drop from
From
there, I
there?
feel like I'm like I
You
either have
can
to make
try
a
and
long
land the
rotation
MLG
or
rock and like from here to there. Or you
Aw,
could just
that's not
rotate
happening.
it back to point.
Okay.
I mean, I saw a couple teams try to do it at least.
Yeah,
Always
I can
attempt.
do it.
Players.
I'll
There was
go
a-
for the rock, but I'm
Yeah,
not
go
gonna
for go
You
for
don't
the
know how to
rock,
do the rock?
and if you can't,
No, I don't
then
know how to do the rock.
Okay, you should probably learn how to do the rock.
Okay,
Isn't it
show me how to do the rock
just?
after this one.
Isn't it just you rock the floor and jump at the like as soon as the rock hits you jump?
Frankly, I don't know how to do it, but it's an important thing to learn as an off
It's
tank.
dude,
You-
even like the top Overwatch League tanks.
Wait,
don't know
Chronicle
how
can
to
do
do
it consistently.
You don't know how to rock jump?
YouTube is a very good tool. I have learned that. Well, that's
I
how.
know how to rock jump.
Okay,
No way you
we're
don't
getting
know.
too sidetracked.
True.
Alright. So, the sig pressuring there gives the option for our Ashe to play here, here, or here, initially here. Like, you don't want to, like, go there mid-fight, because it's dangerous from, like, respawn perspective, you know? But, yeah. And then, did we want Brig to play bottom, or do we want Brig to play on, like, one of these high grounds? Spock, you remember?
oh, I wanted Brig to play forward, top left to get
With the
flails
sig?
in. Yeah,
Okay.
so that your
Yeah.
Brig can just keep getting flails in, keep inspire uptime.
Yeah, that makes sense, because then, like, Brig literally can just bash back to the high ground where the Zen is, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But that means we'd have to, like, save bash. We can't, like, yeah.
Zen would be playing on the left side to be poking,
Like
Zen
here,
can't-
where, like,
no, no,
Ashe
no.
would rotate back to?
like the back bridge.
Here?
The back bridge, yeah, the left entrance there. The Zen has to play there to rotate back in to be able to be peeled for by Brig.
Gotcha. So I'll just map this out real quick for
For
sig.
for VOD.
Sig plus,
Brig.
and then Ashe can be there. Should I just put, like, yeah, I'll do this. Scuffed arrow. It's fine. Ashe can either be there, and then Zen, and then Tracer this side. Ball can be here. Cool. And that's how it would work, because we need Tracer controlling a lane that, like, Ball can just roam in, and then Zen has full LOS, Discord of this entire lane, and like a bit of the other lanes too. So that's nice. And then Sigma can rotate back with the Brigitte. Brig can go high ground or choose to stay low ground with the Sigma. Ball has easy rotation of here. You can do like the Reddit thing that we saw last night and go around, but it's more easy to just go from that angle. And Tracer can go from high ground, low ground, peel. There's a lot of options for Tracer denying flanks from that side. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Alright.
NRT.
Yes.
By the way, for the rock jump, I saw most contenders players were going for it. The thing is that they're also fucking up. It's whatever. Just rotating earlier to make sure that if you do mess up the rock jump, you have that rotation period. Like that's
True.
just a thing of spacing and making sure that you know the tempo of the enemy team, because if they're running 6-man, which they are in this pod, they're gonna be playing a lot more aggressive than you expect. And so I
Yeah,
would say you want to be
let's.
moving when they're like halfway through courtyard, really.
Okay.
Yeah. So at. Do we want to say here?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at about.
All right. So if they get here, that's when you want to be rotating. So it's poke up until that point for the Ash and the Sigma.
Sigma can't get much from that range, but you know you
True.
can give your Ash.
He's
at least
just
a
there
shot.
to simp for Ash, really, and just be there, exist there.
Why don't Sig just play where Ash is? Because there's really not much all charge Sig is gaining.
No,
poking.
but he's controlling space from being there. It's not about all charge generation, it's about controlling space and denying them a
Yes,
free
where-
high ground.
Where Ash
And-
is, he can shield Ash and also the
You're talking
testicle.
about when Ash is like here?
Well, the right
Or,
side
like-
of your screen.
like here?
Left side. Sorry. That like square platform on the right side. Sig and Ash going there and just shielding themselves and kind of denying
Yeah,
that high ground from there because they're
The thing
running
is that
6
doesn't
man.
deny this high ground.
Mm.
It doesn't deny it. So I understand what you're thinking, and it's like safer and it like denies partial high ground, but having Sigma start here makes them need to take this high ground, you know? Like they need to get Sigma off high ground or else all of their rotations is going to be hell. So it's like a time stall and just like another task that they have to like overcome, you know? And then like it also like makes an opportunity for the ball, you know? Like ball is now like able to like swing on a team that knows that like their team is going to push this, you know? Like they have to. So ball knows that that is guaranteed where they're going to be. So it's really easy for ball to like just have an engagement spot. It's such a free kill box. And then if Tracer was doing a good job denying flankers, maybe Tracer could participate on the engagement and like get over here, you know?
Tracer can double blink
And
over there.
Zen already has LOS, so he's adding value. Sigma's rotated at this point down here, so he's adding value. So it's like we're getting a shit ton of value by our Sigma being there as bait plus space control.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions of like situations that you're worried about, people?
Oh, no.
Mm.
Oh wait, wait,
Actually,
yes.
yeah.
If they go to the right, I could. Never mind.
That was gonna be my question too. What if they do try and like,
If they try and rotate this way,
or not even like
to,
rotate? Yeah, like go.
platforms, or just go here.
Yeah.
Just
That.
go over there, not third platform.
Just go there, not taking platforms.
You look to pinch. You look to pinch.
Yeah, you're looking to pinch because your ball tracer is already over here. Sigma has a free high ground. Ash is probably over here still. Our Brig's over there still. So we have like a really nice pinch. Zen like Zen can't really move up that much, so he's not getting the most amount of value. But yeah, there's a pinch going.
That's not really what I was gonna suggest. I wish I
Brig
could.
not being here.
No, I was thinking because we already talked about the Sigma moving back if they're halfway through, right? If there's like
That's true.
yeah, so your Sigma's gonna rotate back, right? And then your Sigma Ash is going to be on the back high ground, right? What you do is you look to brawl. So basically, you go back to the back bridge, right, where Zen is, and then you go to the right. So yeah, you go there, and then you brawl on the right hand side, and you have your ball tracer come main, and then you have your ball tracer flank behind them and pinch them. Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna suggest.
That works too. Yeah, I can see that being alright.
The thing that I worry about is the angles, right? You could maybe have your Ash.
Yeah,
go
I'm worried
back on
about
the left
Ash
side.
angles, really,
Yeah,
and Zen angles.
I get that. But the thing is also like I think Rally's just really, or sorry, Brawling is just really strong on right side, especially for defense, because then you can just boot people off with flail.
That's true. That's true. And then like if ball's going around, if they take the high ground, it's an easy boop. If they go down here, it's an easy like slam engagement. And then like Ash has an easier time and Zen has an easier time
If they go
lasering down.
low ground, I like the ball chaser being behind, but I actually think Core should move back because then they have the threat of point, right?
Off the high ground?
No, move back to where they were originally. Our Core
Oh,
should.
like here?
What? No. I mean like on left side bridge, where you circled.
Okay. So
Yeah.
moving away from here back to
Back.
here?
If they drop down onto low ground, because then if they're
Okay.
on the right hand side, the issue is that they can just contest point for free, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Okay.
Hey,
Alright.
Jerry.
Hola, hey, Jer.
Can we talk about how we position on the second point against some of the other comps?
Like against, well, against a brawl, it'll be basically the same thing, except if it's a brawl with a sim, you gotta worry about, like, getting outpaced while your supports are rotating. So you have to take that into account when positioning, is that they might sim TP and interrupt. So if our ball's, like, staying within range, like always, and getting ready to interrupt, that's a good thing. But you can't, like, play to have ball engage where they're TPing because that's too like unpredictable, you know?
Right.
So like yeah, go ahead.
Do you still want Sig to be there if they're playing some kind of dive?
If they're playing like double bubble
Like-
for an example.
Or Diva Monkey even?
Hold on, I gotta get out of this. Okay, so the guideline that we said, like this line, like this lamp, this wall, and this truck, if they
Yeah.
pass that line, that's a very good general line to where like when the six should be backing up. Honestly, I think it's really good against most compositions because if you see their team going across there, maybe if it's like a ball or a monkey just like ahead of his team, you could like even wait a little longer because it's just a monkey, you know? If you see that
Okay.
there's a flanker already behind and you're worried about the flanker pincering with the main tank on your Sigma, then you should still be rotating, and that would be a call from your tracer if they see a flanker.
Mhm.
But if they don't see a flanker and the main tank is just looking to engage on our Sigma earlier, the Sigma can be a little bit slower and take some like more pot shots.
Is Tracer the one watching the right side, the platform?
Tracer's controlling all of the right side, so she's like controlling this room, she's watching this angle, she's like playing down here, she's
Okay.
controlling Mega, she's like, if like she's on the back foot, she's playing down here, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yep. And then like against Orisa comp, the range is much farther. The Orisa comp, if they are like even like here, you kind of got to be careful with your Sigma. Sure, they're not fast, but you can get like pulled and then like one shot if you're not.
I did
careful. Okay.
Good job.
Mary Bog.
What'd you do?
That scared me.
The Sigma jump.
Oh.
This one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Now refine it, master it, be the best.
True.
I think I figured out how to do it. You gotta crouch all the way to the ledge, then rock, and while you're rocking, hold spacebar.
I see.
Gotcha. Well, Pog. So, yeah. Double shield is like the really scary comp, like when you're positioning your Sigma core there. Everything else is pretty standardized. Sure, there are some like differences that you'll have to play against, but it's adaptable. You just gotta recognize that the double shield comp wants to be poking you, so you can choose to engage them when they don't have LOS of you completely yet. You could choose to actually, that's kind of like the only real thing is to engage them when they don't have LOS of you and come from surprising angles. You can't outpoke them. You can't really brawl them because usually they have like a Sigma of their own and then Orisa. Yeah. So yeah, looking to engage them when they don't have LOS. So that kind of is applicable here because if they're going from main, they can't see here or here. So if they take this high ground, it's just the same thing that we do with the brawl, you know? It's just our ball going in, our Sigma dropping. It's the same thing. But if they go main, it's even easier because then like it's just like a wider sight line for everyone, you know? And it's like they have more negatives. If it's like the dive comp, a double bubble, and they're approaching from like their normal positions, and like they take high ground. So monkeys now on high ground, they got their supports on high ground. Like when the supports start rotating, and that's like a comm that like our ball or like tracer should be making when they're like tracking like or like finding out where like they are and stuff like scouting. When the supports go up, that's like when the ball is engaging, because they're diveable when they get into our kill boxes, and that's what this is really about. When you're on defense, you have certain kill boxes that you're just trying to get teams into. So you're moving around and like forcing them to make adjustments and creating kill boxes that you're engaging on. When those kill boxes fail, that's like when it gets tricky, and you have to make new kill boxes and like come from and like talk about different engagement spot. But yeah, we can talk about attack.
Cool.
Pog.
We're allowed to.
No,
Oh, so sad. I would skip like very far.
no, we're just
Oh, yeah.
watching us lose quickly.
True.
Congrats, Nerfed. You should mark this on your calendar. The first day you made the rank jump.
I can do it very consistently now, like 3 out of 5 times.
That's.
Well, it's not very consistent.
I mean,
50% of the time. Dude, Spock said that the fucking contenders players don't even hit it that
Okay, well
often.
they're in a match.
true. They have stress on them. They're like, ah. Oh no, we win this fight. That's
It's
right.
not that stressful. I just line up my crosshair with the corner and then hit it.
Well, when you're in a match and you feel like you're about to get, rushed by an entire team of 6, have fun.
Yeah, there's a lot more leeway than I thought there was.
Is there?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Real.
Pog. What was their
2 out of
Sombra
5
doing?
times we're gonna have our Sigma die in low ground.
Oh my god, I really hope that we're the featured match and like
Are we just like steal all the featured matches for like the rest of Trank?
Real.
I
What?
really
Are we
hope.
go-
That'd be funny.
No, we're not feature match next week. It's Frost Nova next week.
Aw.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm so sad right now.
Who's Frost Nova going against?
KK.
Hmm.
Oh.
Now I would skip a fat while because we sit and spawn for a minute. A hot one. We win the map in like 2 minutes. Or we win the attack. Yeah.
With a very good offer.
True.
So, Spock, do you want to start with attack, or do you want me to start?
Attack is very quirky. Do you want me to screen share and I can guide through it?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I don't have. I mean, there's quirky shit you can do for second point. I have an understanding of second point, but I don't think we actually ever talked about it, the two of us.
True.
So if you want me to cover that, we can, or you can just go through it.
No, you can cover it.
Okay.
We got a solid agreement for defense, so I don't think you're gonna say like Sigma's just gonna hard flank one angle all the way around or something like that.
Yeah. I want them to hard int in their backline. I want the Sigma to be able to flux around the right side of the map on second point offense, and then he's going to go on the Zenyatta, so that the
Agreeable.
ball tracer will have assistance in their
Yeah.
dive.
I think he should be spinning while that's happening, so he can like be scanning, you know.
You know, sometimes people ask for like a 360 flux. I think they should like do a 720 flux. Like that's sort of the
I think
that's
it's
sort of
Spock, you're thinking too light here, man. We gotta go for a 1440.
okay.
If your DPI isn't
Alright,
maxed
here's
with
the
your
thing.
sense max and just spinning for a solid minute, you're trolling. What is happening? Oh, the Dragons fuel match. Let's go.
We're running Sim and Widow with Hog Orisa.
That's what Dragons is running.
Out of
There, you'll
spawn,
see the thumb
they're
swap.
they're doing a creative.
I
Yeah, they're
I
just
even
doing a creative-
We should do the same.
pull hook. This
You
was
literally-
creative.
Because
That's
if we hook, we win the fight so easy.
Yeah, but also we're on Sim Hog Orisa, which is
Yeah,
wacky.
they're all gonna swap, but
It's like a Hanamura.
it takes 5 seconds to try it,
There's-
and if it works, we get the point.
currently-
If it doesn't, 5 seconds.
There's three things that are happening here. What are the three things that are happening?
Scouting. They're technically scouted
Yep.
the Diva.
Scouting. Scout Diva. Their Somber's up scouting. Notice that.
Oh,
Their
true.
Somber's getting entry into point, right?
Mhm.
They went for the cheesy pull hook stuff, right?
I got Zen and Brick on high ground.
Yeah.
Which is,
Kana
That's
Pog.
interesting, right?
mm-hmm.
Their back
I
line's on
wouldn't-
high ground.
When-
Yeah, actually, never mind. I was gonna say it's not like the best position, but then I thought about how Overwatch League players play, and like the ball tracer are gonna be engaging out there, so.
Yeah, the ball tracer is going to be engaging at this choke, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where all ball tracers have to engage at, or like over here, right? They don't want to go past this. Like going past this is almost a death sentence for most ball tracers right now, right? Because
Mhm.
then core can just hard poke them, stun them, hack them, and whatever, and they can't make it past this choke and get healing. Just simple as that, right? So they don't want to go past that, and so now they're swapping, right? So their support line's gonna stay up here. Their support line's gonna stay up here because they don't want ball tracer to engage on them before their ball tracer has the opportunity to engage on their ball tracer, right? On Dallas's ball tracer, right?
Mhm. Oh, quick
So-
question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was saying, quick question. I'm seeing that both teams run the Diva here. I was wondering why we run the Sigma instead of the Diva.
Because we're
So-
running an Ash.
Ah, okay. Okay, yeah, I see
Yeah.
that.
We're going for more space control than like dive.
Here on offense, did we agree on Tracer Sombra, or we said we didn't like
On
it?
offense,
I think we said we didn't like it.
yeah.
You can still have your, Sigma Ash, or well, you want your Sigma to drop at this choke, but you can have your Ash go this high ground with your backline too.
Well, the one reason I was asking is because I saw the Diva and I'm pretty sure Sombra at the beginning scouting where I was playing in match, or like Tracer would be playing to scout. That was my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah,
Why?
that's valid. I mean, I think you're gonna get a lot of scouting just through this choke, and we can delay scouting. Honestly, we don't necessarily need a Sombra, fully to be scouting later on. It's just quick scouting here, which they're just taking advantage of the fact that they have a Sombra, right?
Mhm.
But we don't necessarily need that to have that happen, right?
Okay.
And okay, so basically, the ball tracer, this ball tracer set up to engage at choke. They can't engage at choke. Sombra set up to pressure out right side, and their support line is also set up to pressure at choke. So what you'll see here is Dragons is instantly taking right hand side of the point to push them out. Their entire core begins rotating back because now they can't control up here because now there's the threat of point pressure, right? The threat of point pressure is like 90% of the reason why we make any rotation in the video game. Be considerate of that. It is one of the most valuable things to know is that your ball tracer and Sombra can either have the threat of touching point or you can actually touch point. And those things are what will make people rotate or not rotate forward in some occasions. So you see their core rotating back, knowing that their core has to support the ball tracer here and make sure that they deny objective. And that allows our core, or Shanghai Dragons core, to walk in. Now, Shanghai Dragons isn't going to walk high ground as most teams do, but they're going to walk high ground in a different fashion. So they mess up the strat, but it's fine. Um, you see them actually begin to walk under. And so instantly Dallas lost every single angle because Dallas was not prepared for them to walk under. Dallas was prepared for them to walk top. But the core themselves weren't able to react fast enough to this. And so we lose every single angle. Only person who's here is Tracer. Tracer's here to make sure that they're not instantly going to go to point. Well, Shanghai doesn't want to be going to point. This means that their Sombra, who's out of position right now, their Sombra, Ball, and Tracer are all looking to engage here. And to be pressuring into this, right? Because now we have all the angles. So they back here. And this is where the kind of big mistake. This is kind of where the big mistake comes in. The ball actually isn't able to swim on high ground. So something I talked about the other day was splitting attention between the core and ball tracer, right? And making sure, Booze, you have the right timing for making sure we're distracting them, right?
Yeah.
Well, currently they can't really be looking in two different directions they can't be looking in two different directions because they have core in front of them, right? And then they have ball tracer behind them. The only problem is that it's now tracer, so it takes a lot less pressure to have to deal with just the tracers. So you see the ball tracer Sombra engaging here. Sombra's finally coming back. Their Diva's rather out of position. And now it's falling apart, right? And the ball should be on this high ground, but he got booped off by a good Diva push, right? So basically that's how... So they kind of messed up with how they're splitting attention, right? And so the core's just able to pressure out the tracer and then engage on core. And so their ball dies, but it's fine because now Void is out of mech, and now you're about to see something that NRT. This is something that I think I've talked to you before about deep contesting. You'll see that the Diva, specifically Hanbin, goes for a deep contest on the Zen. You see him just hard into on the Zen, right? Mm-hmm. Going literally inside of the enemy team's core. Knowing that he can trade this out and knowing that they don't have a Diva so that he can just hard end. And here, his core can live. Basically, we're looking for Shanghai's offense, but we want to be doing it correctly.
It is like...
It's hard, but...
Yeah. One question though, is the reason that their thing fell apart is because like they had it's bad positioning, right? Because like their Diva was...
In general, yeah.
Okay.
Their Diva was out of position, low ground, half HP, took too much damage on the engage. Also, you'll note that Void just absolutely soaked up damage, and he got demeched, and that was like a big problem for why they couldn't live here. Yeah, so like their core needed to be kiting out a lot more here. Like, frankly, they're holding in a very open position, and this is awful for them. They were going for the kill on Ball, and that ended up risking Void's mech, and so they traded mech for Ball here, but the problem is that means that their entire core now falls apart because they have a Tracer and a Diva who are all looking to int on a discorded Zenyatta.
If we were in the same position, how should we do it better? Like, is it like, should we hold behind that door there, or hold the on your screen left side, like that
generally you're gonna have a rougher time because we're gonna have a Sigma and Ashe.
Oh,
so
sure.
How that's gonna work is that your Sigma and your Ashe is also gonna walk this high ground. You're gonna put in a bit of pressure, and then you're gonna look to kite out. If their core is up here, then we have to kite, right? If their core decides that they're going to rotate to another side or somewhere else, right, then you can take this entire high ground for free. And this gives your Ashe entire angle. And also, there's an opportunity that they don't rotate fast enough and they end up in this hallway. And then you just kind of, like, poke them from this side, which is a way better poking position than they have, right?
Yeah.
You have this cover on left and right door. Here, generally making sure that your ball is faster to engage, like something that happened here is he just got booped off high ground, so he wasn't actually able to slam on this high ground, and that actually messed it up a lot here because with him there, Fielder probably would have died. Yeah, look at Fielder. Fielder's literally
would have died.
Yeah, he would have died if Tracer and Ball were both there, meaning Zen would have died, meaning Void would have been demeched, meaning that a lot of shit would have happened, right? So both the ball engaged was messed up, right? It got fucked up by Hook. Way you can do this better is just making sure that you're going a bit earlier than where Fate is going. Fate came in little bit late and gave no room for possibly messing up this rollout. Also, just generally, core can be rotating a lot farther back here, especially with an Ash. You can be rotating back. Another interesting one is if they don't hard aggro you here, like Dallas Field is doing, you can actually play in here with an Ash, or just be playing this area, this open space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have the ability to just drop off high ground, or just back out and kite. And here you have the ability to kite to a mini, right?
If they go to the far right side, is that a position where me and Q should be looking to brawl them?
That's rough.
I feel like
That depends on where your ball tracer is. So if you're, if your ball tracer is going up on this right side, right, and they will be going up on this right side. Sorry, apologies. Yeah, you can definitely aggro as long as you're getting the timing right, because we're again looking to split attention. So making sure that you're calling when you're brawling allows your ball tracer to know when they should be engaging.
Okay.
Yeah.
quick question, Spock. Would it have been
Mm-hmm.
better for like Fate instead of going for the rollout that they did, to go upstairs instead? Like it's so like instead of risking getting the boop off here from Hanbin, should they have gone stairs and just sped upstairs so they had the easier time getting up?
I think either way has its conflicts. If he goes upstairs, then he gets no scouting information going up, so he doesn't know where anybody is. If he goes up this way and actually would have slammed, he's going to get actually hard pressured, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if he wouldn't have gotten booped, and if Jexay would have actually hit his shot, then Fate would have been off map. So there's that downside too. So yeah, probably going upstairs would be safer in general, but you're worried a bit about scouting information, because as soon as you for example, what you watch Fate actually do is he goes up here and then he does this rollout, right? He has a high possibility of a Brig just being there and stunning him, and then him getting hard bursted or possibly booped towards the edge of the map, which is all
You're
dangerous.
also
But
going like the right side to help your tracer get like a safe engagement angle too. Just clearing it in general with the tracer is really good.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's solid, but I actually do like these stairs a tiny bit better. I think that's up to you and depend on the situation. If we are engaging in this place, again, if the core wouldn't have walked, or if the ball chaser Sombra wouldn't have walked over here, what would have happened is that the fuel would have had to either drop point or drop mega, drop somewhere along those lines, leaving them in open space, right? Or they try to hard aggro and brawl in this situation, which is less beneficial to them just because they're caught in this open space and we have the stairs here to be kiting out of.
Wouldn't stairs be a lot more noticeable? And I'm saying noticeable, but I mean dangerous because they have Sombra.
What do you mean? Which
Like,
stairs?
If ball is like rolling up the stairs, not that one, but he meant the middle one,
Oh,
right?
this
The
one.
middle hole.
Yeah, this one.
That's what you meant, Paul? Boost?
Yeah. Three stairs.
Yeah, where Void
Right.
takes
Right.
as a second attempt.
But wouldn't like rolling up as ball here be like super noticeable by the enemy team, and Sombra's just gonna hack?
Well, we're hoping that we're baiting attention with the core.
right, but
first
the way Fate did it, that's like really hard to prevent. Although this time it was prevented. It's super fast to get up.
I mean, swinging up, no, you can get hacked, you can get booped off the map here, as we almost saw happen if Jexay would have hit his flail, and then Hanbin actually did boop him down to low ground. So I mean, there's a bunch of shit that can happen, and it's, I think, a lot easier in my opinion to be hacked if you're coming in from above than it is down the staircase.
Okay.
The one thing is though, Lina, is that I'm not trying to walk up the stairs, more like grapple up to get fireball, so that I'm not gonna be able to get hacked because I'll be faster than hack animation goes off.
Yeah, you can see that literally here, what he does, right? He just fucking grapples around corner, goes vroom.
Ball
That's pretty much offense for first, right? I'm actually kind of curious. I have a general idea of what I want
If
for
that
offense for
fails,
second.
what's the second plan, or are we doing the repeated plan?
Oh, repeated? No. I think that's extremely dumb to do repeated. Um, I would say that you probably want your core just rotating up to this high ground here, and just
So
like
just like the
acting across
usual,
the bridge. Yeah, just
just trying to
usual.
take a high ground.
But
Okay.
again, you do want your ball tracer to be controlling this like left side area, or well, right from the defensive side, right? Um, ball tracer definitely should be controlling this area, and your Sigma and Ash and core can be walking up here. Something about this is that what we're really having a problem with is that since we're on offense, we're consistently rotating. So our Ash and Sigma will have to be a lot more stacked than usual, and that's like the main issue we're going to run into, right? Is that ultimately your Ash may just become a like weight, and in my opinion, I think what you would want to look for is more of a Kree, if anything, because Kree has that mid range where you can be rotating consistently into the enemy team and brawling, and also flashing ball and engage if need be.
Yeah. I worry about
That's if the Ash isn't working.
getting outranged now then.
Wouldn't it be assuming that the enemy team, the enemy Harmony team, is playing ball comp on defense here?
It is, and so that's why
Right,
we're going to
so-
talk about brawl next.
Right.
So let's kind of get just fresh perspective at this point. Thank you very little. I don't need to see you actually play a video game. Let me actually change my POV to be a bit better, because I'm currently just only sharing Overwatch. Wait, am I? Yeah. Okay. Oh god, it's showing me my Crunchyroll notifications. Pepe laugh.
Would Echo be viable?
Perhaps. That depends on what they're running, right? And so we're talking about Brawl. So let's say that. Where do you think a Brawl wants to be set up? They can set up at the choke, right? They can
Right.
set up back
Sorry,
here.
hold on. So we are assuming that we're doing that opening thing and then scouting their comp first, and then we have a choice to swap, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You have a choice to swap to whatever composition you want to play. Whether it's against Brawl, right? We talked about options for how to swap against Brawl. Swapping to Echo is an option. Swapping to Mercy. Swapping just general general things that are usually used for counteracting dive that we're just not that we have no need for now that they're running Brawl, right? And so Brawl can be running like forward here, and they can like hard int into you, right? That's like an option. It's a thing of trying to out tempo you to deny you that space, and to like to kind of be a threat to you. And honestly, with this, if you're having a difficulty getting your like core through this choke, you don't need to. What we showed with what should counter that is setting up your core on this high ground, right? Because then the enemy Brawl just can't walk through, or can't walk through on your core. And what can happen is, if need be, your ball tracer can go around, or go from here and just contest point, right? And against Brawl, something that's really strong is just contesting point, because like that's gonna get them out of position like 9 times out of 10. And so then let's talk about if they're playing here, right? So then they're playing to engage, or they're playing to like absorb underneath here, right? They're gonna have their Devo walk forward, touch point. Generally, you're pressuring them out with like ball tracer. They're gonna be looking to TP on your core, and so TP use whatever cooldowns they have to get on your core, right? So that's where against Brawl in general, you want to be playing your core as bait. You're always expecting your core to be bait. And so now that we have a like Mercy and an Echo, right, we're not as worried about how many eggs we're throwing into that basket of the core, as Dean talked about earlier, right? Instead, now we're talking about like how can we use Zenyatta as just a bait. So if they have to hard int across map, right, to get the Zenyatta who's in a decent position, who maybe has like a Sigma shield here, right, and is just like poking the shit out of them, then they have to like cover a lot of distance, and in that distance, you can be poking them out the entire way. And we talked about slamming them like on rotations to deny tempo earlier, and just some more things along those lines. And that's like consistently on this point. They're just gonna be looking to absorb, and we're constantly just looking to make it so that our Zen and our Zen and our Sigma are the bait, and they're always gonna have to rush after them, or if our ball tracer ints into their core, that's their other win condition, right? Because if we int into their core too early before they have cooldowns up, they're gonna have Maywall, they're gonna have freeze, they're gonna have stuns, right? And they're just gonna like try to blast you. They're gonna try to freeze you out, and so like generally with Brawl, you need to make sure that you're slamming after you get cooldowns out. So this Zen Sigma will keep rotating back. You're gonna be poking forward, and then your ball chaser are gonna look to engage from this angle or from this angle on their rotation, because on their rotation they really can't flash you, they really can't use a lot of CDs on you. They can look to like stop mid rotation in the middle of open space for some reason and try to freeze you, but that's about it, right? That's like what your main concern is, right? Some teams enjoy running a Sombra, and so in terms of running a Sombra, you need to be careful of again engaging within that core and not scouting her first. So like let's say that they're again looking to int on your core that is walking through this choke, right? And you want to roll in from this side, and you're worried about a Sombra that's going to be right here. That means that your tracer has to instantly be contesting their Sombra. That means that your ball is not the first engager, which is really weird. But that means that your tracer is taking the first engage. So your tracer is going to be the one who goes first on Sombra, is trying to deny hack, ball can slam or roll through as he wants, right? While we're trying to contest Sombra. This is specifically to make sure that Booz is not getting hard hacked. And if he does get hacked, hopefully you're in a position where you rolled back, or you rolled back in this direction or somewhere to where you can get out safely, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be really careful about them with speed wanting to go on you after you're hacked. And that's the dangerous part. Places you don't want to slam is right here against the Sombra comp. You do not want to be slamming here. If you slam anywhere near where they're trying to absorb before that they've tried to rotate out, you're gonna get fucked. But what I do want you doing during this time is I want you poking, because again we're looking for CDs, right? And so Boost, I specifically want you like taking, this is a quirky ass angle. You can also just like be poking from up here for when they try to rotate. You can be poking from up here. You can make yourself known, but you're making your own angle, and I want you specifically making your own angle during your downtime. So let's talk about Pharmacy Brawl comps, right? Because that's another scary one, right? Pharmacy Brawl is like something that teams for some reason fucking want to play, right? Yeah, it's Protega champ.
It's a very popular comp we've seen in this league.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially because we're playing full meets this week. That's like they
I think it
invented
makes
this
sense.
for in
I think-
Harmony tier.
I think that's way more popular than some kind of Sombra comp anyways.
Yeah, because Sombra's hard to play, so people don't want to play her. So basically, they're going to be looking to engage at this point, right? We've seen a lot of like Fair Mercy, right? Hit at this choke, right? They're playing high. They're looking to be poking us out while we're here, and making it not available for us to rotate in here or for us to rotate in here. First thing that's going to shut this down is our Hog Orisa rollout. We're going to look for a hook if we can on the Pharmacy. That's a rough ask, right? But that's what we're going to look for. During this time, our Brig, again, versus Brawl, you can go to look for Echo Mercy, right? So we may be going back and swapping. But during this time, our Zen can also be poking her out, putting Discord on her, whatever's need be, because he's set up on the high ground. We're not allowing them to poke us through here and here. The thing we're worried about is them poking us off of this high ground, right? I can actually get a better POV of this. Right. And so we can try to poke her out, try to get them out of this choke, and that's generally our main concern. And while we're getting our Echo Mercy up, right? And once we get our Echo Mercy up, then our Echo Mercy can take the skies, deny. Oh, motherfucker! All right, there we go. To hopefully be denying the Pharmacy, right? Now the thing is, like Pharmacy, once we pressure her out, she's gonna have to back. So that's when our core wants to be moving. If their brawl is still here, we have to make sure that our ball tracer is getting in first. So our job, again, similar to how we were running that, how we're running it versus another ball composition, right, is to get our ball tracer in. If we don't get our ball tracer in, we're gonna get fucked, right? Because we need to be getting these angles, and there's one choke here and like one angle, pretty much, right? So getting our ball tracer in is pretty much our imperative against Pharmacy Brawl. Because then your ball can set up like here, poke out behind, can set up here, poke out behind. Tracer can be in here. You guys can be playing whatever megas, minis. Hell, you can go to second for this fucking mega. You can go to this mega, right? Just keep going, and they're gonna have nobody contest you, pretty much. All of these megas are free, which is actually big for you. And during this time, our core can be poking out from this high ground. We can have Ash and Sigma here, just trying to like put in pressure, trying to deny shields, and they're not going to be able to hold this area because this area is like terrible for kiting. If they kite back, they have to kite back all the way to this corner, right? And so they have to be continuously moving through open space with a shit ton of angles, whether it's from this high ground, whether it's from this low ground, this area, right? Just fucking everywhere, right? And our ball chaser will be able to deny that. And that's where most teams have, in like from what I've seen, like to set up is at this choke. Let's say that they try to hold back, right? Let's say that either we let them rotate back or something happens and they're playing this area. Now that gives us a chance for our core to be walking high ground. They may try to speed on us, right? During this time, we basically have to hold here, and then we have to try to get our like ball tracer to be engaging here, and just from like all different angles to make sure that like we're either slamming on this rotation or we're slamming here. We have multiple different slam points. Don't overthink how many slams you're doing right now. I just need them to happen. And I need clean engages with your DPS. I need your DPS to be consistently following up. We are almost always behind, and we need to be following up on the slams and calling those and doing 3-2-1s if possible. That's generally what I'm looking for. Again, it's situational. I'm not going to cover every situation for this point, but that is what I want for this point. I'm not going to cover double shield because I highly doubt, or some teams like to
They
run double
will.
shield.
They will.
Actually,
That's
can
what
you
this
cover
game-
it?
Yeah,
It's
that's what most teams run at this point.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
actually important.
Then that's really cringe. But then there's also there's a lot of comps that you can run here.
And we did get fucked by some teams playing double shield on defense here.
Okay. How are they playing double shield when you got screwed over?
Arista
Playing
up on the left.
top right high ground or top
So,
left high ground from
yeah, that one, that
Packer's
one.
perspective. Yeah.
This one?
Uh-huh.
Were they all stacked up here?
Yep.
Yep.
Most of them. Ash,
That-
I think,
that's the
plays
one I
high ground most of
remember.
the time. Thing is that Palm Beach is gonna run Pharah, so we gotta be wary of that.
Yeah, yeah. It was Palm Beach, right? They did double
Yes.
shield with Farah on that
Palm Beach
point.
and
Like,
yeah.
well, we played Strix, but Palm Beach did this on Eichenwald, so 99% sure they'll do it here.
yeah.
So, how are they going to play?
What are we playing though? Are we playing Echo?
You're still playing ball calm. You can, well, we don't know yet. Because we
Okay.
don't know how they're going to play. As a double
they're just
shield, how
gonna-
are they going to play?
They're gonna poke us from up there, and if we push up there, they're gonna try to rotate back to the
Poke us
right
through
side.
choke?
Yeah.
Okay, they're going to look to pull here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do shit like that. Where are they going to back to? They're going to back around
To
here?
around to the right.
Wait,
Okay.
but before that, let's say we did the TP thing and scouted that they're playing ball Farah. I mean, double shield Farah. What is our other DPS?
Double shield fire, motherfucker?
Mm-hmm.
No shot.
Yeah.
The thing
that's
is,
what they
we
run.
lost against that, so.
Oh, God. Okay. How does their fire mercy play?
Just roaming.
I don't
Just
know.
like
Just-
roaming in this space, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, everywhere really, but yeah. I mean, it's far, so
I
doesn't
mean,
really have a
Ash, man.
definitive. Okay,
Um, I'd say Ash. Um,
Ash with Mercy or Brig?
so generally with this, right, they're playing a spam composition. They're looking to spam through choke. Um, their kill box is probably like around here, right? And their pharmacy is set up here, shooting into the kill box, I assume. And I'm gonna be real. It just sounds like you could just go Widow at the beginning of the round and try to headshot her. I'm not sure if that's something we're interested in, but that seems like a great
Commercial is
opener.
very interesting.
Well, yeah, we have one player who's interested.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that could be a
they
part
can't.
of it.
But Spock, they can't really be the macro solution to it, though.
well, yeah, I know, but I mean, I enjoy
We
cheese
can
as much
try,
as
we can
X-Men.
do it,
Yeah,
but like,
yeah, I know, but you just swap for at least the beginning. Just swap Widow and try to go for a shot. I'm gonna be real. That seems like very juicy. But what in terms of rotating through, right? Because we don't have a lot of shit to make it through. We need to be cutting off our LOS from this area. I'd say if we're running Sigma, we just try to rotate through here, and we try to rotate to this wall. Oh, to like you can either rotate. No, you can't rotate there because that gives them another spam choke. I wasn't prepared for dealing with pharmacy double shield because I don't understand how it runs. Um, assume they're Farah because you have to be poking at the Farah, right? So like you could have you
I
could
think
have
we don't
a
run Sigma. I really don't think we run Sigma against it.
yeah
Good, even if they play Pharah.
yeah, and then you just hard DM your Kree to make sure that your Kree can just be walking through chokes, right?
Okay.
Because your Kree is, or well, I mean, I would say Kree because I think Kree can get the most amount of burst potential on Farah without having to aim down sights and then get
So we
absolutely
play
murdered by
Kree Diva
Farah.
then instead of Ash or Sig.
Yeah, Ash Sigma,
I
and
just
then
got
having
here, but I really like that idea because I get to play McCree.
Commercial. Spock just gave you full permission to play Widow for the entirety of this
no,
point. No,
he
not really,
didn't
but
No,
say
like
anything.
not the entirety, but like
Well,
you
well,
could,
bad
you could,
opening pick.
well, here's my
Oh my.
we don't know what the enemy comp is, so we're gonna do that sim shit. And does it make sense for us to do the sim shit and then go to Widow and do one and then swap again?
No,
That's
no, no.
like so
both.
much
We
time,
play
right?
and Widow
So that
to
doesn't
and
make
swap.
Widow.
sense.
Is this
You
referring
play-
to attack or defense?
We don't
Attack.
know what they're playing.
Awesome. Yeah, but so we
Attack, okay.
line that we would run like you on Symmetra and then commercial on Widow. You're only looking to get the TP up there. You TP us up. We look for the hooks. Commercial
then-
in the meantime is looking for a Widow headshot,
Base.
And then
I'm-
sim
and
goes
then we-
Tracer.
and then we all switch. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that
Would
works.
we have Sombra a Sombra scout or no?
No, we
No.
we don't.
So-
we don't
so
have
in
that.
that case,
option.
we
I mean,
can't.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if I'm going Widowmaker, I could very easily just take a quick jump over like on the
That's
top
what,
and
yeah.
probably.
All I want is you to take a jump shot like here.
True.
Take a jump
I
shot
pro-
like up.
I
Right,
probably-
here.
right.
Yeah, I'd probably do it a little bit closer, like where you're referring to, because it gives me more line of sight of like this whole first point. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, we're talking about Pharmacy double shield playing into
Mhm.
that, and I just
Mhm.
want you to look for a headshot on their Farah or their Mercy.
I
think,
would go for Mercy.
yeah, go for
Mercy's
the Mercy.
way
like, yeah,
Mercy's
that's-
way bigger of a kill than Far because the
Yeah,
only
'cause
thing
then
getting
the
Far
res.
would sure res
Yeah.
is big to get out, but it's not nearly as
Yeah.
impactful as actually getting the Mercy. But
Definitely right. Yeah. So rotating through, you're just gonna. I'd say that you want your ball tracer to go down here, and what you're gonna do with your ball tracer is you're just gonna have your tracer and your ball cycle off a point. You're gonna cycle touching on and off a point to make this double shield, like up here, have to look at you, because during that point that they're looking at you, your entire core can rotate this way, and deal with the pharmacy, right? You're gonna be constantly poking at the pharmacy. You can rotate around here. You can even like just walk main and try to poke her out if you have decent attention spread, right?
Yeah.
Just
so
generally-
basically, the tracer and the ball will be looping around like that building with like the crane on it. So when the ball's touching, Tracer is like getting ready to touch. And then like you just cycle it like that because there's health packs in like
Underneath,
through the
yeah.
rotation that they initially made.
And if they walk down here, that's the biggest call you can make in your life.
Yeah.
Because then your core just gets free reign to walk out of everywhere, try to kill the pharmacy. Essentially, right? Because the only
Okay.
thing that's stopping you from killing the pharmacy is their core, which is just a pain in your ass, right? That's pretty much it for that composition. Any
Wait,
other
hold on,
composition
hold
for me?
on.
What's up?
We got the core to that 12 o'clock that you wanted to. What happens then? Do we do a poke battle against the double shield from there?
Well, generally,
Uh,
like you're just securing this side of the thing to deny the far out lane, right?
Right,
Your
but
core is just walking like here, walking here, wherever you need to go, like depending on the situation, because I don't know where the fair is gonna play. And you're just trying to poke her out, and then what you're doing from there is that the ball chaser is distracting them down here, right? And then the trade off of point can go to the core if need be. Like your core can set up like here and trade off into point, and just like you're constantly trying to force them to go down to point, right? Because as soon as their reset drops, that's like a really good indication that they're running out of resources. Because once that reset drops, where's she gonna kite to? Nowhere, pretty much. She can kite here, but that's so fucking long, right? Here, also terrible choice. Can get booped off, right? Um, just generally, point contest is their issue, right? Like one of their biggest point problems is just point contest, and like the Pharah is the only thing that can be poking you out really from doing that. The pharmacy can poke you out from doing that, and then their core can poke you out. But if their core has to look in two different directions, right? Then like they don't have to. Then you're gonna have less of an issue of point contest. And so like who cycles off between point? You guys should know this.
Ball Tracer?
Ball Tracer and who?
Sig?
Diva?
Diva, yeah.
No.
And then who else? After that,
Would it be core?
it could be Rally. It could be Rallying Brig.
Mm.
Rallying Brig can just sit on point for a while your Diva tries to poke up here, right? Your Zen doesn't need to be there. Your Zen can be sitting back in this window for all I care. Your Zen could be here. I don't really give a shit where your Zen is, as long as your Zen's not dying, right? Your Brig can touch point, and that's like extremely easy because they don't have a flanker unless you're dealing with the pharmacy, right? Oh wait, against pharmacy we could go Echo Mercy if we wanted to.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that?
I
Steve?
like that idea. I like that actually.
Yeah,
I
Echo
think
Mercy.
that's a better decision
So-
than Ash.
So for my when
Echo
I'm,
Mercy and Kree is what I'm suggesting.
Echo
when
Mercy
we run
3.
Echo
Yeah.
Mercy and Kree. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Oh wait,
hmm.
Tracer. My bad.
We need a
We need a
tracer.
tracer.
'cause we
I
need
always,
Kree.
I always
Yeah.
fuck that up. My bad.
In
Yeah.
if we're running the Echo Mercy, because when we're running Kree, my goal is just to like DM him across and like be like hard pocketing him. What do I
Yeah,
do when
if
we're
you
running
if you're
Echo?
running Kree, which we're looking at more of a Echo.
So what if we're running Echo then? What do I like? What changes?
What is your job?
Yeah.
Control this area.
Okay.
Your Zen can go where the fuck he wants. He can go up here.
Okay.
Yeah, your Zen like should have free reign because their pharmacy is gonna be contested by the Echo Mercy, and then also you at the same time. You controlling this area denies the Farah entire point.
I'm
Like
still going left side,
the-
I guess. Ball
the only
or
thing ball tracer is going up here. You can poke in here. You can trade off point is what I talked about earlier, right? You're going either from this door or from bottom left, right? And you're just trading off between point. And then Echo Mercy is going mid, while your Zen just kind of goes where the fuck he wants, wherever he can get a good angle. Your Diva's gonna also be poking out Pharmacy, so she's gonna go mid.
Yeah, and the Echo Mercy can be used to contest the Pharah if they're getting greedy, but mostly I think will be used for draining the double shield's resources.
Breaking shields is massive. because
Yeah,
then
enforcing
like
out like
yeah.
a bunch of packs when shields do break.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also getting gold out, getting
Mhm.
gold, getting
Maybe
hands.
Immor if they're running
Yeah,
that.
again, double shield has a shit ton of resources. Knowing those is really important because then you're trying to cycle through their resources, and when they have certain things down, you can engage a lot more easier. And so that's why calling those CDs is really really important. When they use Immor, when they use gold, when they use
Suck.
well, don't call yeah.
Sigma
Don't,
suck.
you don't need to call shields, but yeah, I call it hands, but yeah,
Gotcha.
because you can do the head pats.
Grasp is also a term.
That seems extremely creepy. I don't know. I've never
It
liked
is.
grasp.
Well, that's what it's.
Isn't- yeah,
called
isn't that what
today,
it's
grasp.
called?
the official name.
I'm gonna start saying
Minecraft.
sucky sucky down.
I
Okay.
like that one. That one's actually
Sucky,
preferable in my
I
opinion.
I will just call I will call it Zuck. That's what I'm calling.
Zuck
Zuck.
the suck.
The
Zucker.
Zuck. The Zuck is
Zuck
down.
What the fuck? Okay.
Sh-
Wow, this is interesting. Look at how they're doing offense. We talked about going bottom left. If the enemy team goes bottom left, I'm curious how
What?
he'll respond to this actually.
By
They're
winning.
EMP'd.
No, they're
No,
going to the
but
mega
where's
room.
Fearless going?
Oh wait, not this
Oh,
fight. They
they're
get
going-
EMP'd at one. Oh wait, yes.
Ooh.
No, they don't get EMP because the EMP they do get off or try to get off. Brig stuns, which was a big baller move. What is happening? What am I watching?
Well, you're watching each team rotating and setting up.
It's so chaotic.
Well, I mean, okay, look at where Fearless is, right? Fearless
it's
can
fine.
go to that choke. He can go to right side. He can. Looks like he's actually looking to do a flank here.
Yep.
Or no, he's actually. Yeah, he's still setting up to be able to go mid, right?
Yeah.
This is. I mean, their setup's really solid here. This isn't bad. I think this is fine. What does Izuyaki? Why does Whip fuck up?
Lip gets diffed. So sad. Oh, Tracer was just camping there.
Oh, and he wasn't. He didn't scout it. Oh, did he lose? Oh, interesting.
I would watch Translocator there. I think he might have lost Translocator too.
Yeah, I think he might have. I'm actually kind of curious about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he
did lose
lost it.
That's so
Yeah,
unlucky.
Okay. So basically, I do actually really like where Shanghai set up there. Setting up in Mega, I don't think is actually too bad because you have a lot of options, right? You can have your ball tracer go top left, contest their ball tracer, wrap around, pressure here. You can have your ball tracer control main, poke out shit. I'm not a big fan of that one. Just generally flanking. How the fuck are they?
What has happened?
What happened?
Shanghai is definitely okay. Well, they got Fielder out after. What the?
Where did so it looks like Fearless went around, yeah.
So the Polka.
Yeah, okay. So with their core being bottom right, they decide to go for a flank, it looks like. Oh, and they're matching wait, where's Fate?
Fate's the left side right now, and then
Yeah, and so
oh,
Yeah.
Fate does Omega rollout and like Giga Chads.
Oh, I need diffs fielder. Oh, that feels
Oh,
bad.
because Brig dropped because
'Cause
they
Brig
were
dropped to
trying
brawl.
to aggro on like the leaving dragons.
And then Fleta diff Sparkle.
Well, that's just true. Cause let better. Looks like Void goes point. Yep, Void takes point.
Yeah, Void taking point here is interesting. It's because
I think Fate was too low to take point or to try and contest point there.
he probably called that he was cycling, and then he died.
Which is unlucky, but ooh, that.
Fleta.
What are you doing, Fleta? Oh my, I just okay.
They got a tick with that.
True.
Yeah, they got a tick because
I think that was an early MP. I think
Ooh.
way too early. Actually, got
I'm gonna be
3.
real. I think what happened here is that A, Lip died early, right? B, Fate and Fleta just weren't. They didn't go fast enough. So like with the core being down here, right? They just didn't go fast enough to go and engage behind them. So like they could have like gone and poked out Fielder and then forced attention back to them and then had the core walk in at the same time. So I'm gonna be real. I just think they weren't going fast enough. But I do like this offense. What do you think, Sane?
Like taking Mega and then just like baiting like the supports to feed.
Yeah,
Is that
baiting
what you're saying?
resources. Well, it's just
Well-
baiting resources back to the support line, because if they're gonna set up their support line on bridge, right, which most teams do, then
If
our
they're
ball
running
chaser
like
goes
a double
behind.
shield or like a yeah.
No, I'm talking about specifically Belcom versus Belcom.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but just baiting the resources back here. But I think
Even
that
in,
going bottom left isn't bad actually for most comps except for Brawl. I think if it's against Brawl, you go high ground.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, no, I agree.
if it's against double shield with like Pharmacy, right?
I think you're
I think-
worried about I think you're worried about your ball tracer not doing enough, but that's like the only thing.
Against what?
Against like a mirror or against a monkey.
We should focus on the double shield.
Like just getting like
But also,
flanks denied by like a brig or something. If the
Okay.
brig is just choosing not to like if the brig is like tracking the ball's movement instead of like looking at
I'm
like
confused.
a tracer.
I don't think I quite understand.
So
But
like if
I
a
wanna-
brig is yeah.
I think I want to focus mostly on double shield if possible, because I think most of us are worried more about double shield right now, which is sort of weird, but whatever.
but we also don't know if they still run Pharah on second point because we never
They-
got to the second point.
They would. They would.
Right. They would run Pharah here.
I'd imagine. I mean, most teams don't switch off the Pharah. There's not unless
Hmm.
we're like hard shutting the Pharah down, which at this point hopefully we are.
Did they run an Ana?
Okay, oh yeah, let's assume that they have Pharah.
I have no.
fine.
In
X
their
is a
double
BAP
shield, did they run
OTP, so I would assume
Okay.
they're running BAP Brig.
Okay. Or Bat Mercy.
Either one.
Probably
Yeah.
Bat Mercy if they're running Pharah.
Oh yeah. My bad. I forgot about the
Yeah.
Pharah. Yeah.
Okay, so generally with double shield, right, where are they looking to contest, or where are they looking to hold?
They're holding on the back high ground, and they're looking to just spray down main, I'd assume, or because they also have smaller angles on the left and right.
Not necessarily, right? Because this entire lane, like right here, holding forward, this is really strong for Sigma. 'Cause,
Right.
like, all of these angles are really, really powerful.
Yeah.
Generally, if you're running double shield, right, you're looking for a split, and that split is going to be having your Sigma walk down here. In terms of the Risa, she can poke out here, but I think if anything, she's going to be the one who's looking. It's gonna be either Sigma or her who's looking to contest. Generally, you're looking for Risa because she can last a tiny bit longer, even if she doesn't have as much shield as Sigma does. So she's gonna be either holding here, right, and trying to poke out from this direction into point, or she's gonna be holding here. So how can we pressure this? Can we isolate them?
The Sig's isolated. If we like booped him off and then like we could int on him,
What
but
are we booping with?
ball. I didn't like the idea as soon as I said it, but I mean it's not.
That's fine. That's fine.
Actually, yeah, I like that.
I think we could pinch the core actually
Yeah,
from
that's-
left and right
That's what I
because
was
we
gonna
have
say,
Echo
man.
too, and Tracer, right? So they can take two sides. Ball can be either side.
I'm gonna be real. What I want to see happen, if we're running the same composition, right, is I want to see us walk. I want to see a core walk around here. Not low ground. Sorry. Not low ground. Just like walk through here and like isolate them to make sure that they can only shoot from like this one angle, right? And just like kind of sit in here, and then like we can also drop low ground, poke them out here too, and then we have a like diversion rate, like a split of attention from the other angle with a ball tracer.
If they swap the Pharah off, would you want me to switch to the Sigma?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's. I think either one is fine. I think Diva's really strong in ball comp, but I mean that's just depend on what you prefer, frankly. Because I mean with Diva, right, you can get a lot of utility out. There's a lot of very strong mechanics. You have the ability to be deep contesting. If you're running that, most of the time, what you're going to be doing is like trying to deep contest in the middle of the double shield and create disruption, which can be really dangerous. But we kind of saw how Void does that on first point here, or sorry, Hanbin sort of did that, and most divas kind of how that they play that. Um, with Sigma, you definitely cannot be as aggro as that because you don't have thrusters, but or nor do you have bomb. But what you can do is you can take a solid angle and keep your Zen in like a good position to be just poking out shit, which will be rough here. And like something you can do is like not necessarily take this high ground if you're running Sigma, but you can just run this low ground and just like be poking into point.
Wait, does
whether
that
it's taking this
mean
high
we're
ground.
also swapping out Echo into
No, you can still
Ash?
run Echo.
Right?
You,
Because we'll have duplicate, which is hard to build. Bob is also hard to build. I don't really. But then, like, are we running Sigma without Ash?
Yeah,
yeah, you can run Sigma without Ash.
there's no reason that you have to run Sigma with Ash, but yeah.
Yeah, either one. If you're worried about getting close to their core, like just stay on Sigma. You can also like with not swapping off of an Echo, you can have your Echo like control this entire space, right? You can have her just take angles from like every single point here, right?
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, it was Diva originally, so wouldn't it be okay to just keep Diva?
Yeah, it's fine to keep Diva. That's what I'm saying. Is that you
Right.
have the option. I'm
Right.
giving the option, and I'm leaving it
Okay.
up to you to choose on which you're more comfortable with, or which you feel is more macro-wise viable here, and that's like dependent on your macro sense and what you feel is right at the moment.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so generally your Echo is taking this angle, your ball is taking this angle, your ball tracer. Are you comfortable getting over here on tracer?
Here.
Just
Here.
Grunewald?
blink.
There's.
Yeah. Is it? It's pretty simple, right?
I mean, isn't it just like a double or triple blink over on the right side of the stairs?
Double blink from right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And those are already. I would have broken those from rollout. So yeah, that should be pretty simple.
Yeah. Bruce, make sure you know how to do it. I watched you fuck up the other day on that
Okay.
specific rollout.
Was it that one? I know I fucked up the other one.
Yeah,
I saw you dangling underneath you.
I was like, I was trying to get to spawn doors because I was trying to go like hard behind them and it didn't work. Okay, I was
was just
very
like,
mad.
oh, man,
Later,
give
Bruce
up.
was dangling on the other side, and then he fell down again on the left side of the map.
It was hard to watch. It was hard.
I
to
was so
watch.
mad.
Yeah, no, but make sure you practice that rollout at least. And then Tracer can also get over there, hopefully pretty easily. You guys can take that angle. Echo can take main. Core should take the top left. It should be pretty simple to get more angles than them here because they have to play either so condensed or so spread out based on just how map geometry works.
Quick question, Spock. So I know you want like ball tracer to be in like that right cubby right there. But if the Sigma's like let's say like we get there before the Sigma's done
yeah.
rotating, do you want like Echo Tracer Ball to just hard in on the Sigma and then like start continuing to poke or or see a dive on like a drop target like a Zen like drop down or break that drop down?
So you're talking about if you get here before your core gets here, right? What the fuck is that arrow? Real. And then their Sigma is rotating back or something?
Or no, like I mean like if like their Sigma's like a late rotate or like our core is like already in the building that they should be in starting to like apply poke and their Sigma is half or almost there to start like almost there to rotate. Do like we just hard it on him, right?
Hey, that's not Sigma.
Yes, it is.
I think he means that Sigma is like almost at his original position.
Yeah, like if Sigma like has it.
Almost there or on the bridge, still on the way there.
Yeah, you can hard pressure him as long as you're not forcing yourself to cycle too early. Because again, you don't want to cycle before your core does, because then your core has to wait a really long time, and you have the danger of having your core get poked out.
Okay.
And again, you don't want to be going in at different times necessarily, unless it's like directly to get a singular pick.
And what about like a drop target? Would it be viable to like if like a Brig or the Zen?
Somebody drops here.
Not there, but like on point, like a point drop, like either behind point, like on the spawn.
No, because then you have the risk of getting pulled and like stunned here, or just like having them hard int and their entire team drop and int on you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, generally, I mean, it's also conditional. If you think it's viable, it's viable. It's up to you.
Okay.
We're there in that left room, like,
Yes.
and they like. This isn't
They-
a question. Like
They
they
hard
could,
int on you.
if they hard ends on boost, like we can kind of just like take that lane for free then.
Oh
and then,
yeah,
like-
you take this entire lane for free. You take all of the space.
So I mean, at that point, I think it's like very viable.
One of the most annoying shit to me, like things to me, is when your core is playing passive. It's like so fucking annoying to me that all new bulk comp players have like their core be extremely passive when you guys can be brawling, you can be poking. You just need to be proactive. You need the understanding that you can be playing as far forward as possible or actually at your spawn. And you need to know when that happens, and you need to be determining that consistently and quickly. And that is what makes a good core as a ball comp. Because sitting back and just poking for millennia isn't always how it works. You got to get your brig up and close. But here we don't have a brig, but generally you want to be getting a really solid angle, especially forward for your Zen. Okay. Scene, I don't think I covered a lot, I'm going to be real, and I took up a lot of time. But
I'm-
if you're
I
upset,
caught a really good grasp on Volskaya now.
yeah.
Yay, 140-minute VOD or hour and 41-minute VOD to upload. I'm gonna.
Well,
No way,
now we
that
gotta
was-
play
that was not
Volskaya.
hour
'cause we
41.
don't-
Oh, yo, you don't believe me?
Do you guys play Volskaya when I'm not there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We do a lot of
Oh,
Volsk. Or look at the stream. Look at the stream right there. 141 minute.
Let me up this because I wanna see this.
Alright, I'm gonna head out because I have food and homework to do. Let me know if you have any questions after this, and I'm sure Sing can also ask.
Oh, before you leave, are we still set for Sunday?
Yes.
Just making
Well,
sure.
But I know it was kind of late. I took a nap after work because I was really tired. If there's anything I need to know, I'll probably watch the VOD afterwards, like at least what I
Yeah,
missed.
you just rewatch it.
But do you think if there's any notes for me, I definitely need to know. Do you think I get like a short summary of that, just so I have that for myself by any chance? When you have the chance?
Nothing short.
Nothing short.
You have to
There's-
either not do
you can
anything
just
or
watch
watch
it.
hour 41. That's your those. Are your two
There was a lot of everybody. Like there's a lot of each role getting a lot of stuff to do. Like a lot of micro and macro, and it's a very important VOD. That's why it's called important VOD.
Yeah. If I'm gonna
well,
be real,
Booze,
like,
you have the I'm giving Booze a
The
mission.
Spark Notes version.
Timestamp the entire thing where every single topic was talked about.
Oh fuck no, dude.
Timestamp all of it.
Well, that means
So-
Boost has to watch it again.
Dude, I would have spent 10 hours doing that because it's gonna be like, okay, we're talking about one fight, then the next, and then the next, and then
Just
like
do
what
it in
comp.
study hall, forehead.
Well, you won't.
I can't do anything in study hall. I have to do it on my main computer. I'll be in school.
Well, you can do that so Birdling can skip forward. You know,
Well,
the things that he's not
Bye-bye.
interested about.
I
Yeah.
see you, Spock.
you'll inform us right
Thank
as
you.